Okay, so welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to be changing out the power jack on this Toshiba laptop, which is the power socket, this here, because it's broken. Now, if you have a look on the side here, where it's supposed to go in, there's actually nothing in there. Well, you can just about see it, how it's felt inside the laptop. What's happened is, I've not actually looked inside, but what I think has happened, this was used on a bed, and a person fell asleep with it on the bed, and then they woke up and it was off and won't charge. I think that the charger's been plugged into it, it's been pushed in, and it's probably broke the pin or the back of the socket off. I've got a whole new replacement socket here, because on these Toshiba laptops they're just a little socket here that slides in on a cable, so they're quite easy to replace. This is probably one of the simplest laptops you could damage and replace the socket on. So I'm going to show you how to take this thing apart. This particular version is a Satellite L730 or a 735. It's got an actual specific model number on the bottom as well. The actual specific model number is an L735 11W. And yeah, we're going to get this thing taken apart and repair the socket. So basically all you need to do this is a Phillips crosshead screwdriver with a smallish end on it, and then a flat bladed screwdriver. Now the flat bladed screwdriver is actually just to prise up things that you can't get your fingers and nails under. I haven't actually got any nails, but yeah, so just a small-ish flat screwdriver and a smallish Phillips one. What also would be handy would be a tub or something to put the screws in that we're going to take out of this, so you don't lose any of them. There's only two sizes, so maybe get two tubs. Other laptops, they do use various different sizes of screws, but these are quite straightforward. There's a small size and a big size, as we'll see in a minute. So let's take this thing apart anyway. First thing that you want to do, turn it over, get the battery out, and we're going to make sure it's totally discharged. So remove the battery first, that's done with those little clips, and then turn it back over, open it out, just hold the power button for about 5 seconds. That makes sure that it's completely discharged and dead before we start touching anything and unplugging things. Now, on the bottom, first thing I would do is remove this door. This has got the hard drive and memory under it, and we'll whip out the hard drive. So, 2 screws, and then pull that up. That to one side. We'll then remove the hard drive, that's on this one screw. And that's one of the smaller size screws. So we'll put that to one side. Then you can get the hard drive with this little tab, like so. Put that over out of the way. Next thing, we'll take out this other screw here. This one lets the DVD drive come out. So that's another small one. Put that over to that side with the other. And then if you push this little metal tab here, the DVD drive will come out. And just slide out like that. That now exposes these little screws here, so we're going to take them out as well. These are more of the little small screws. So there's one over there, and another one. There's one more small screw, which is here, this black one under the hard drive. And that, I think, is us done for small screws on this particular model, but we'll soon find out. Other screws from here, there's one in this little corner hidden, near the hard drive connector. That's the longer size. Then we've also got, I think that's it for under the flap. So now just take out all the other screws you can see in the bottom. These should all be long ones. That's 1, 2, 3, turn it around, 4, there's number 5, number 6, number 7. Some of them you may have to take this memory out, but most of them you won't. If you do have to take the memory out, if you can't get it apart, just push these 2 little tabs and lift it out, and there may be a screw under here. There isn't on these smaller ones. Some of the old big ones, I think, more than anything, had it on. The old big Toshiba ones. But it's pretty rare. So there's another screw here. And then I think that is about it. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 removed of the big ones, and the 4 little ones or so, 4 or 5 little ones. So now turn it over and open it up. We want to get under the keyboard now. So this little piece here, you can see these 2 grooves in it, just about there and there. That comes out separately to reveal the screws that are holding the keyboard in. So that's where we get our flat blade. And if you look at the top of the keyboard here, you'll see there's these little lips in it. Now that's where the screws are, and if you use them, you can actually put the flat screwdriver in and use them to prise it up, like so. So there's one end up. So then you just want to go along and make use of these little holes. There we go. So there you go, that's that piece removed. It's just all in clips. Put that to one side. Now we've got on this one 2 screws on the keyboard, there and there. There's also a hole there for a 3rd one. This particular model hasn't got it, so we'll take out these 2. There's one. These are smaller like the other ones, so these are different, the keyboard ones. So put those somewhere where you know where they are. There's another one. So now you'll notice the keyboard will maybe start to come up a little bit. So if you use this flat screwdriver again, you can kind of prise this little clip out. And then there's clips along the edge of the keyboard here, which you can kind of maneuver it out of, like so. Turn it over. We've got to remove the connector. There we go. That's the keyboard free. At this point, it's also as well to undo this other little cable marked MB. This here is actually the touchpad, the mouse and the lights and stuff on the front. So just lift that up as well and pull it out, like so. Now we need to take out a couple more screws, which is this one here, and this one here. There's one. There's 2, but it won't quite come out. And there's 3. These are the same length as the ones from the bottom casing, so we'll just put them with those. Try and get this one out. Okay, I can't get that out of there, so I'll just lift the casing apart and it'll come out then. So now those 3 screws are out. That's everything else loose. There's nothing else connected top or bottom. So now what I do is I stand it on the screen like so, and then you need to try and get your fingers in and part the casing. So along here, it will split the top and bottom half of the case. So if you can get your fingers in, and it'll unclip like so, and then just persuade it along to undo. Once you get part out, the rest is quite easy. And then we'll stand it down again. This is just all plastic clips all the way around that secure this. 2 halves of the casing together. There we go. Now don't just lift this up, because there is still a wire here, which we can't get to until we've undone it. So just flip it over to the front, like so, and you'll see it. So this, you then want to pull. If it's tight, you can see it's got 2 little sticky out bits on it. What you can do if it's too tight and you can't pull it out, instead of just yanking the wires, get the flat screwdriver and prise it out from each side to loosen it, and then it'll be free like so. That's our laptop completely in half now. So now we can see the actual guts of the laptop, the motherboard and so. And the power socket is right about here. And as I kind of suspected, it's actually broken. You can see where it snaps there. And it's sort of clean broken off. It's done an impressive job. The whole of the plastic section is sheared straight off. So if we kind of pull this out, this one's actually fastened under a screw here as well for some reason. The label on the cable. So I'm going to undo that screw just a little bit to free it. It shouldn't normally be stuck under there. There we go. Tighten that back up. Okay, so now the label is out and free. You can see the connector's completely damaged there. There's no way that will be repairable anyway. So we want to disconnect it. Now you can see just there where the connector is. So if we unplug this cable, just pick up the black bit and pull a little tab out. That lets us see our power connector. So now we can pull this out. Careful not to pull too tightly. What you may need is to get that flat screwdriver again and just prise it here out a little bit to loosen it off. You can even put it in the middle and turn it like so, just to loosen them out. And there we go. So that's unplugged. Now we've got our new one here. So I'm going to push that in, making sure it's the same way. It will only go one way because it's got those angled pieces. So don't force it if it isn't going in, but you may need to give it a bit of gentle persuasion as I just did there. So it's sat in snugly. See, there's actually angled corners on it to prevent it being put in the wrong way. Now I'm going to tuck this down here somewhere so it's out of the way. You can also see here how this plastic bit on the casing seems to have sort of bent out a little. That holds it in place. So that may need a dab of hot glue on it. I might actually put some hot glue down there. But these two little slits on the side of the connector body go down these two slits here, and that's what's holding the power socket in its place. So if we drop that in, also ensure that you put it in the right way round because the socket is more to one end than the other. So when you've dropped it into the laptop, just make sure, have a look at the end, and make sure you can see the connector like that. If it looks like it's wrong, just take it out, turn it over. You can see if it goes in the wrong way, there's no way that you would get a power connector into that. So pop it in the right way around and it will line up perfectly. So whilst I've got this open, and I'm doing this anyway, because this plastic has given a little bit, what I'm going to do is take this out, I'm going to put a dab of hot glue in the bottom and then sit the connector in just to make it extra secure, because I don't want to end up with the socket dropping back inside and have to take this all apart again in the future. So I'm just going to put a dab of hot glue in now and that should keep it in place for good. Okay, so now the glue gun's up to temperature. I'm just going to drop a bit of glue into the bottom of here. Just let me get this excess off. Into the bottom of here. And then drop on this connector into it and hold that in place for a few seconds. All this excess coming out. Good thing about hot glue is you can just pick it off quite easily. Okay, so our power socket is nice and secure in place there now. That's not going to go anywhere. It's plugged in. So now we need to put this ribbon connector back in over the top of it. So make sure that flaps up. Drop in the cable. Make sure it's lined up and nice and straight. There we go. Drop that in. Okay, so that's the connector in place and everything else. Okay, so now we need to put this thing back together again. So we're going to start with the palm rest section and plug the speaker cable back in. So let's just pop that down there. Push that in. Okay. Then we're gonna seat that in place, click it back down. Put this ribbon cable in now, make sure the little flap is up. And then fold it in. Push that back down again. If you just squeeze all around the edges, it should click back into place. The one bit you may struggle with is the bit at the back where the battery goes, so just close it and squeeze those. Or put your finger in between here, near the hinges, if those don't want to click, and it will go together, like so. Next thing is these 3 long screws we took out, so we'll whiz them back in. One, 2, and 3. That's those in. Keyboard next. So pop it down. Line up the ribbon cable, making sure that black flap is up again. There we go. Pull the black flap down, secure it into place. Now you'll notice these little tabs on the bottom of the keyboard. Those go into these holes. So push it in and under, then do the sides. It should click in. Sit in with the other side. Then 2 of those screws from before that we took out. There's 1 and 2. The plastic cover. This has just got little tabs on the end that clip into here. So we'll start from this side. Just click it in a little bit. Then we'll do the other end. And click it across. Back into place. Next, go back underneath. We'll put those other small screws in. So the couple from the DVD drive, there's 2 here. We've got that one from here. Then I'm going to put the DVD drive back in and screw that in. There we go. And that's just unscrewing there. The hard drive. We'll just put this tab out of the way and put the 1 screw back in for that. That's that done. We'll put that long screw in here from the corner of the hard drive. And then now the rest of these screws just go in all the other holes that we've got left to fill. So there's 1. There's another one. There's another one up here. 1 just here. Right in the corner. 1 here. and one in this corner. That's all the screws back in now. So we'll put the bottom door on. This has got these little tabs on. These just tuck into there. It's also got them on the bottom here, so we'll just ensure that those go in and kind of push it down and it'll click in. Then we can put this screw on. Same here, just a little clip there and screw this in. That's nice and flat now. The battery can go back in and pull this back over to lock it in place. And now we've got a charging socket that we didn't have before, and it should charge if we connect the charger. So here is our charger. I'm going to plug that in on the side, plug it into the power, turn it on, and we've got a little light down here now to show that it's charging, and it should all start up and work brilliantly. There we go. So that's everything done. I hope you found this video helpful and enjoyed watching it. If you did find it useful, please leave a like down below. Any questions or you need help with, leave them down in the comments section and I'll try and help you out. If you're looking to buy a replacement power socket, the best place to get one of these is probably on eBay. That's where I purchased this one from, because there's people that break down laptops and just sell them for parts. Most Toshiba laptops will be the same, but these connectors do vary in length and the actual fitting on the end, so make sure you get the right one for your particular model of laptop. Also, the disassembly may vary slightly, but it's mostly the same across all Toshiba laptops. So anyway, thanks for watching, and get subscribed to my channel if you're interested in random computers and technology videos like this one.